Welcome to the podcast. It's Mr. Ish. We're here at KIPS Bay Boys and Girls Club, called their clubhouse. And we're episode number 7, I believe, of Street Smarts. It's one of the top ranking shows that we did this year. So we're gonna all introduce ourselves. We're also doing something a little different. I want to show you their faces. So we're doing a little video podcast. We'll get some views on that, and parents get to see the little kids and all that stuff. It's always good. So let's introduce ourselves from my left to my right.
Hi, my name is John Wall, and I'm 9.
Okay, John Walton, which is gracias for coming. Next.
Hi, my name is Dyer, and I'm 10.
And last but not least.
My name is Royce, and I'm 10.
You're Royce, and he's 10. All right. So today we're talking about what was today's topic that you learned about this week on Street Smarts. Who wants to give me an idea of what you guys learned in Street Smarts?
We were looking at videos talking about like racism.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I guess this podcast is going to be Street Smarts and about racism. That's what I'm trying to get out of it.
We watched a video. It was like this guy. He was asking where to find like the nearest like McDonald's, and random guy which he would come and say go back to your country, or you don't belong here. You started this pandemic and stuff.
Okay.
All right.
So it was out in public. So we had some racism that was out in public. So it wasn't technically, like towards you. It was just something that was happening socially.
And
okay.
They were making like racist comments about like to go back to your country because he doesn't belong here.
Because of the way he looked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like he asked where he was from, and he said it was from Japan, but they were like assuming like he made the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
And
they
then the
think
guy,
he's, like,
the
from
guy
China.
the guy who walked up, he said China and Japan are the same thing. He basically started the whole pandemic.
So he doesn't know that China. He didn't know much because China and Japan are not the same thing. Two different countries, basically.
Yeah, but luckily, it's not. And also, another good thing about it was that it was just a social experiment to see what other people would do.
It's
Some
technically
people
similar to the one that we did with the guy had that he was taking the kids away.
And,
Remember that one? That was a good one.
And
Yeah.
he was like people were protecting like what he said to the Asian boy, because they were protecting him like.
But they were
backing him
protecting
off.
the people saying the bad things, or
the person saying the bad things about
okay.
go back to your country.
all right. So some people did not defend the person and stuff like that.
Everyone defended.
Everybody defended him.
All right.
Yeah.
So I just give you a typical question, and we'll go around the table. We'll start off for you, Royce. What is racism to you?
Racism
What does it mean to you?
is basically saying like words about people's skin color, like you're so black, or you're so white, you're Asian, you probably started the pandemic, comments like that. And that's what
Racism to you?
much.
Okay, next. What is racism to you?
Racism is basically like when, like, if somebody's not showing, if they're not like acting kind to you, like how they would act, like, alright.
So
let's say-
they're acting differently to you.
Yeah, like if somebody's white and like any other race and tells them that they're too white, or like they look like an Oreo,
Okay.
cream to an Oreo.
So calling you names and stuff like that. So
Yes.
what does racism mean to you?
Racism means that like someone from different colors from you are judging you from the color of your skin, or maybe they're judging you because you look different from them, or you're from different countries, or from different states.
Okay.
That's what it means to me.
I think one of the major things is quickly when you talk about racism is just someone treating you different for either looking different, speaking different, or for being from a different nationality or different country. If you treat everybody the same, then it really doesn't matter if you're black, you're brown, or yellow, whatever they want to call them. If you treat everybody the same, you just treat everybody like a human. But it doesn't happen that way.
Some people don't
So
believe in
some
that.
people are just
Just treat
racist.
people.
They grew into that, and some people actually really believe it. And it's very sad. Look at us in this table right now. We all different color skins. I mean, you can look around us. We're all different here, and that's what makes us different, and it also it gives us a chance to teach other people a little bit. Like we could teach some people about our cultures, about our families' ways and stuff like that. And we just learn from each other. That's why they say New York is the melting pot. Ideally, we would like to have nobody's racist, but you're gonna meet people that are racist in your lifetime. It's just thank God it's not like in the '60s, 70s, but it's still out there, and it's towards everybody in this room.
Yep.
I mean, from Latin to dark skin
I'm
to
Latin.
girl with braids to guy light skin guy with nice eyes, everything. From weight to being skinny to being fat, whatever it might be, there's racism for everything.
They can fat judge you.
Yeah, they fat shame you too.
Body shame.
From the videos that you saw, what's something that stood out to you guys? Like something that basically you were like, wow, I can't believe that was said, or I can't believe that was the action the person took. What's something that stood out to you?
Like, why are you judging people just because they're different from you?
The judgment that they were judging people and they don't even know them. So that's something that stood out in the video. What about you? What's something that stood out for you?
Something that stood out is that like everybody from different races to different religions to different ages, they was all helping the man and defend him because of the other.
So how people stood up for his rights, right? How
Yes.
people stood up for him. That's overwhelming, and that's also very nice to see that people can't just get over, and people can't just talk to certain people the way they want to. Um, so when you see that, especially out in public, you're like, wow, you know what? This is not too bad. Like there's people that would stand up for someone's rights. But there is a reverse to that. And there's people that be like, he could be saying these things like, oh, go back to your country. And then you get another person and be
Or it
like,
can
yeah,
be
that's true. And then all of a sudden you got three people saying the same thing. And now it's almost dangerous.
it can be reversed too, like black people talking about white people.
Yeah, that's definitely. But I mean, it could just be if you have a bunch of people and they start ganging up on one person, then it could become dangerous because you don't know, how extreme it's gonna get. So that's a scary part of something like that, or someone being confronted, in the streets. I mean, I know we you probably seen them videos of the Karens. How there's different Karens for all types of stuff. Karens are the ones too that throw a little bit of that fire, throw a little bit of that the flame in there, and other people start adding to it, and all of a sudden it gets out of
A whole
gets out
big
of control.
problem.
Yeah, it becomes out of control. When the guy said to the little girl that he was told to pick her up, what was the reaction from the people around them? That was part of the video. What was the reaction? Go ahead.
They kept saying, they kept asking the girl if he knew that man who was gonna pick me up, her up, and then um and then she said she doesn't know him, and and then they started saying, get away from her, she's fine.
So I don't understand what was in the video. So in the video, give me a little breakdown of what happened in the video. So there was a
Okay.
guy that supposedly went to pick up a young girl, and
That was
and
by herself with no mother or dad. So like people around her was like asking her questions about like what Roy said, like, do you know this man? And they were all saying like the little girl said no, I don't know this man, and then the other people were saying no because if the little girl doesn't know the man that was picking her up, I don't know, like if like if you're picking her up, it's protective for her.
All right, so you kind of drained it a little bit there, but they were just basically defending the girl. If you didn't know her, they were trying to say, okay, so if you don't know the person, don't go with the person that that's saying
And
they're
he
gonna
was,
pick you up.
and the man that was, he was lying that he was his neighbor, and
He was gonna give ice cream to her if she followed him. That's what he kept saying. And then people were saying, "No, she doesn't know you. She can stay here."
Uh, um, so in the other video that you saw, you probably saw a couple of them. So why do you feel that people got involved in the conversation when when he was outside of McDonald's? What do you think is one of the reasons why people got involved?
which one in the first or second video?
Well, I don't know each of the videos, but the one in front of McDonald's where they were calling him a racist and go back to your country. Royce, why do you think people got involved?
Because they thought it was wrong that they saw a guy, he was minding his business, asking for the nearest McDonald's, and then he came up out of nowhere and said, "Where are you from?" And then he said he was from Japan.
So you think people just jumped in out of just because they wanted to? Like
No, they jumped in because like they
They,
were
like,
different
felt bad.
countries.
They
like,
felt bad.
Okay, so if they felt bad for the person, you have any other reason why you think they jumped in?
jumped in because they're different.
So my
race
reason, the reason why I think that they help jump in is because the Asian boy was like defenseless and he really couldn't do anything about that situation.
Okay, so they saw that there was somebody that was defenseless and I guess kindness of their heart. They felt that hey, they have to protect somebody that couldn't basically defend themselves. That's
And
one
they
of-
were trying to defend the man that was talking about like the country, that they're different countries from us.
You lost me again.
No,
I
like
don't know- I don't know
the
when you
man
jumped
the
in, you
man that was
lost me.
talking about like what country are you from, and like
But there was people defending him also.
yeah, there were no, not the one that was talking bad about the other man, the one that was asking for the near McDonald's. They were
Yeah,
defending.
but that's what he just said. That's what he just said. You're trying to add something and you're not adding nothing to it. That's what it is. You're trying to add some sauce and there's no sauce needed. That's what I see from you. So have you guys? Have you guys ever been in a situation where someone said a racist remark and how do you react to it? And tell me honestly, because sometimes you don't know what to do. Sometimes you're shocked. No, I've been shocked before that came out of someone's mouth and you don't react, and then sometimes you might react. So we'll start off with Royce. Is there something that you've ever heard or someone ever did some racist remark or something, and how do you process it?
Nobody has ever told me like racist stuff.
No, but have you never heard it like somebody else?
Oh yeah, they.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, you have a short life. I have a longer life, so I know I've definitely heard it. But be aware that one of these days in your life it's gonna happen.
So
You don't have to
so-
react to it, but I mean, sometimes you may have to.
in school, in the lunchroom,
That's where everything happens.
there's this kid. I'm not gonna say his name,
I would
but-
shout him out. I don't care.
and
Put him on blast.
he called. Okay, so his name.
Don't say his name. I just said put him on blast. He was ready. He was ready to go down. He was ready. I'm telling you his name. I don't even care. Tell me the school that he's in, what he wore today, and just give me the last initials. Yeah, he's in your class.
Yes.
Or he's in your class picture. He's on the right side, the left side, 3 rows up. All right, don't tell us all that. Go ahead, tell us the story. Tell us the story.
So he called two of my friends the N word
Ooh,
for some reason,
tough.
and
That was
then
a tough one.
he
Is he black?
yes.
Well, it doesn't really matter if he's black or not.
Yep.
I mean, the N word is the N word. When you direct it to somebody, then it's really rough. I mean, I tell you this much: you guys probably, well, not maybe not you guys, but I would say teenagers use it all the time. But if you say that in front of like someone's grandparents or something like that, that actually dealt with racism or any of that, probably in the '60s, it's gonna be a totally different reaction. If you say that in Harlem, in 125th Street, to a grandfather or somebody walking the streets, you're gonna get a totally different reaction.
And another story.
Like what kind of reaction?
And another story.
Oh,
So
I'll tell you in a second.
um, this kid, I'm not
Who's
gonna,
playing with a microphone? Come
I'm
on.
not gonna say his name. He told
But do you want to say his name?
um,
Yeah, you want to say his name, but you don't. You're not gonna say it. Go ahead.
uh, so he told my friend that even with 10 flashlights, he couldn't see my
Ooh,
friend
okay. So
for some
he
reason.
was trying to snap on him. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I was young, we used to snap on each other. That was kind of like a rite of passage. Like we just talk about each other, but we'll talk about it like as a joking thing. Like we will all stand in a circle, and like you'll snap. We called it snapping at that time. I don't know if it's called anything now. Maybe burning or burn or whatever. So we used to actually sit like in a circle like this, and they used to have your mother jokes, and they used to be like, your teeth are so big that this and that, your eyes are this or whatever, your glasses look like water bottles, like all these little different things like that. So it was kind of like for us was like I guess our YouTube. We used to stand around and just do that. We didn't have cameras and we wasn't so it didn't go much further. It's not like someone put it on social media. It's not like someone, found a video and put it on YouTube and it was repeated and repeated and repeated. It was just one of those things that you'd be like, oh, your mother what? Like kind of one of those types of jokes. I'm not saying that it was the best thing, but I'm gonna be honest with you. We used to do it. Me and my friends at least. Is there something that you've maybe encountered any racist situations or how will you react to it
Alright, so sometimes in my school, a lot of things happen, like how
in the
there was this
lunchroom, right?
thing.
Everything happens in the lunchroom.
No, this time it was like during gym, right? Like somebody said that they were sweating so much that it looked like it was black dye sweating off of
Ooh,
them,
tough one.
and it was very racist. So I stepped in and I helped him,
Good for you.
and
And what you said,
and so the kid that was sweating, I told him not to listen to the other dude because whatever he just told you is 100% false.
I mean, it could have been
And
true. He could have been sweating a lot,
yeah,
but
he
that
was.
you can't say that it's false. That it was black dye. That's different. I mean, but if he was sweaty, he's sweaty. Some people are sweaty. Some people,
And
you need
and
to
then
get
the
that
kid,
rag. You need to make sure you carry that rag in the back pocket if you're a sweaty person.
then alright, so the kid that said it to him, I, I was running. It was basically sprinting around the gym, and I started running as fast as I can, so I catch up to him and tell him that it wasn't right.
Okay, well, good for you.
And
Good for you for standing up. I like that. What
and I
about
basically told him to stop calling people names, because if you stepped into his shoes right now, like how would you feel?
what about you, buddy? You're not dark skin, you're not light skin. You're basically
I'm
same,
Latin.
almost same color as me. Have you ever got into or heard any racist uh, remarks or situation that you had to either hear or deal with? No,
Not really.
beautiful. It's gonna happen though. Fair warning. It's like you're gonna cross the street one of these days by yourself. Racism is gonna happen in your life sometime. So be aware of it. And if you feel that the person's picking on somebody, you could always talk. You could always speak up. I always think that racism is another. It definitely sounds and it definitely is another way of just bullying somebody.
Yep.
It is always when you bully people for their size, for their weight, for their this, for that, whatever it is, it's just a way of like putting pressure on somebody else and making them feel bad about themselves. So racism is something that later on you'll learn where it came from and other stuff like that. But it is alive in our community, and it's unfortunate, but we could be better people, and slowly but surely we could change it. I mean, amongst ourselves here in this room, we don't hear those things, so that's already a change. When you go outside, if you hear it, sometimes it's jokingly, but you tell them, hey, you shouldn't joke like that. How will you feel if they said something like this about somebody you loved? So, um, I encountered it one time. I was just talking to my wife about it. I encountered it one time. I have two sisters, and both of my sisters are African American, and it's funny because they have black names, I would like to say, and then they have their last name is an Italian name. So you don't know what they are, but they're basically African American, and their last name is an Italian name. And I took them to a barbecue that my wife was doing, her family, and one of her aunts, said a racist remark in Polish, but I kind of knew what it was, and I got very upset, and I defended my sisters. And I was like, I just confronted her, and I was like, "You shouldn't be talking about people like that."
Say? What did he say?
It's a Polish remark, but it means like black person or something like that. So I was like, don't talk about my sisters like that. And she was shocked that I knew what she said. That's the first thing, because it's a language that you don't pick up easily. And then she was shocked that it was her house, and I was like, I don't care. Like, I defended my sisters, and I was like, come on, I got in my car and I broke out. So she eventually had to apologize. Like, I didn't mean it that way, but it is what it is. If the way you said is the way you meant it. I think she's dead now, so it doesn't really matter. I could shout her out. Like, she died recently. So, but it's a hard thing to hear it, especially about somebody you love. So, my sister's rock and roll with me. I don't care. I'm fine with that. All right, guys. Well, this is a good topic. It's an interesting topic. I know it's a serious topic, so it wasn't like the funny one and the best mood or all that, but it's something that we should definitely talk about and touch base and let people know. Street Smarts, episode number 7. Y'all can say your goodbyes.
Peace.
Deuces.
We're out of here.
Check. 1 2 1 2. Check.
Not yet. I just told you not yet. You're still pressing. How am I supposed to get the ending if you? Yeah, I told you not yet.